Okay, we're rolling. So, Robert, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Comedian.
Really?
Comedian, or a hockey player, a goalie, which I still play this day, or a professional wrestler. And I worked in professional wrestling for a long time.
As a wrestler?
As a manager. I started out as a producer-announcer for professional wrestling, and later I managed Tiger Jeet Singh, who is the biggest bad guy in Japan. Jeetsingh, Tiger Jeet Singh. Check out his website, you'll get a kick out of it. I got a great video of it too. And I used to tour with the wrestling in Trinidad and Tobago and the West Indies, and they were crazy days. A goalie, I was a good goalie, but you know, not good enough to play in the NHL. But when I heard my first George Carlin album, I heard FMAM when I was little, 7, 8 years old. And I said, that's it. That's what I want to do. I loved it. I listened to it over and over and over. And Carlin was my favorite. And FMAM, he didn't swear, barely. Not that swearing, you know, one thing or the other. It's a free country and it's an art, so do what you want to do. But I just heard him, and he was so funny and so clever, and did voices, and I heard the people laughing. I think he taped it in the cellar window in Washington, and it just made me crazy. And that was it. I identified with him.
Huh. And what was your role at that school in class? Were you the class clown?
Sort of. I was kind of the class clown, but I was never the rude guy.
Right.
I was never disrespectful to teachers. I would never, like, you know, throw things or do things that were crazy. But if I had the opportunity to get a laugh, if I saw there was a moment that I could, you know, riff a laugh, get a laugh, and even if it meant, you know, getting kicked out for it, as long as it wasn't, like, overtly rude, but if there was a moment of an intelligent laugh available and getting my friends kicked out, that was a home run.
Did you ever get actually kicked out of school?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. I got my first kick out in kindergarten. I got kicked out of class, kindergarten, not as much as some of my friends. My friends were professional. I was an elite. I was an elitist to kick out. Only when it was a comedy moment. I did get kicked out of, in 10th grade, as we say in Canada, grade 10, I got kicked out of my Hebrew day school, out of chat. I got kicked out right out of that. I got kicked out of 7 of my first 11 classes in the first 4 days. And I was told I was better suited for the public school system. And I was at that time. I didn't have my head together. My life was too crazy. And I went to public school, and, you know, I still study with my grandfather. My grandfather was a Balkora. He was the guy who read the Torah in an Orthodox shul. So everything worked out.
So you went to Jewish day school through 10th grade?
Nursery till the first 4 days of grade 10.
Which was the Jewish high school that you went to?
It was CHAT, Community Hebrew Academy in Toronto. That's where I went for the first 4 days. Okay. And that's when, you know, the rabbis that were teaching us were from Israel.
Yeah.
And they were fresh off the boat.
Yeah.
And you know, these guys, I guess there just weren't a lot of guys with a sense of humor in Mea Shearim. And no, not at all. And I remember I was taking special Talmud. I was, you know, a decent Talmud guy. And I'm sitting last one in the row, and the guy goes, and I don't want to mention his name, and he was a nice guy. I take full responsibility. My fault. He goes, Ata! You know, you, Ata! So when you're the last one in the row, and someone points at you, what do? Look behind you. He goes, Ata! You! Must be the other side. I look on the other side. The guy's, Ata! Bohena! Come here. I go, what do you want? He goes, Bohena! What do you want? Bohena! Okay. Get up, walk towards the class. I was chewing gum. I didn't know. He goes, Mi marshel chalelos masti pakita. Who lets you chew gum in class? I go, lots of teachers. Call him a read. Takes out a pad of paper and a pen, and he goes, Shemot, names. I go, what do you want? He goes, I go, come on. He goes, I go, okay, corned beef and a small Coke. And the chase was on. It was like the end of the Three Stooges. And that was the 7th of the 11 classes, and that was it. That was it for my, that was it for my official Hebrew education, I guess.
Which Jewish day school before?
Associated Hebrew Day Schools of Toronto. And you want to hear something great? So I got kicked. So Associated, the next place they take you to, like the next grade after you finish grade 9, all things being equal, if you want to stay in the system, is you go to CHAT. and I did graduate from Associated in ninth grade, or as we say in Canada, grade 9. And I got asked year before last to come back and do the PTA gala for Associated, in spite of the fact that I got kicked out of chat. And then a few months ago, in November, I went back and I did the 100th year anniversary. They asked me, and my opening line was, "First you kick me out, now you ask me back. Make up your mind!"
Did you actually get physically hit?
You know what? They wouldn't hit you, but you think, oh, they would. They give you a judo chop on the top of the head. You know, like right on your kippah when you're leaving. You know, as you're.
It hurts.
I got hit in the head so many times that I went into show business. That's how it's. Yeah, you know, I mean, back then, like today, you know, it's like, you know, well, how do you think would have been a better way of handling that situation? You know, they talk to you. These guys are from Eastern Europe. They suffered the Holocaust. They survived religious persecution. You know, there was no mamby-pamby stuff then.
Did they hit you with a ruler, or did they actually physically hit you?
No, they used to hit, I'm telling you, when they kick you out as you're leaving, there's like a subtle judo chop on the back of it.
Okay, pretend my hand is your head. How hard were they hitting?
Okay, I'll show you. Here, put your palm up so I can show you, because I don't hit like this. I got to get into character. I'm going to...
Oh, that actually hurts.
I told you, I went into show business. That's... yeah, it's like... And these guys were big, they're big, strong guys from Romania and, you know, Russia and Poland and... Oh, yeah. Yeah, listen, back then, this is what, 19...
What year did you graduate high school?
I did my first year of university in 1980. Okay. I remember Canada goes up to grade 13 at the time.
Okay.
So that was my brush with greatness.
What about socially? Were you a small kid, medium, big? Were you bullied?
No, never. I was actually, I started doing judo when I was about 5. Okay. And I started studying martial arts when I was quite young, and I kickboxed for years. I did kung fu for a long time. In fact,
hey, I'm gonna pull my phone off the hook.
In fact, that's probably the promoter right now asking me to show up for another 163-pound match. I wrestled. I did all kinds of stuff. I played hockey all my life, and in Canada there's a lot of fighting. I mean, probably the same thing in Australia. And when I was a kid, you know, there were tons of fights. We were in 100 fights, man. You fought like crazy. And my brother, Solzheim Gesund, is a much bigger guy than me. He's like a linebacker guy, and he's a few years older than me. So when I used to fight my brother, and we fought all the time, when I started fighting guys my own size, it was like a day off. I never bullied anybody, but I always stood up for myself and my friends. And I had no trouble doing that.
Just the one sibling?
One sibling, yeah.
Okay, so you're the youngest. What was your reputation in high school once you started getting to the secular high school?
You know, I didn't want to be the fastest gun. I just wanted to have some fun. I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to meet girls and have fun and play hockey, and you know, now I wasn't going to school from like 8 until 4:30, and there weren't as many restrictions on me. I was already, you know, I had the ability to speak Yiddish and Hebrew, and my French was already pretty good. So going to public high school, especially for the first year, I couldn't believe how easy it was. I was kind of funny. I was a decent goalie, and I just wanted to have a good time. That's all I want. I just want to have a party. My life was nuts at the time. You know, we were single. It was just my mother and my brother and I, and my mom wasn't well, so it was me and my brother just kind of against the world. And for a while against each other, but, you know, only for minutes at a time. We'd make up right afterwards. And I still love him to pieces. In fact, I'm doing a charity benefit for his synagogue in Toronto on the 12th of April, a week Sunday. Is that right? That's right. Yes. And that's just for his shul, just for his thing, just to give him a little boost.
Tell me the story of you in Judaism. You went to a Jewish day school, you were raised in an Orthodox home. How did you relate to it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you have mixed feelings?
Well, it's like this. My grandparents, my Bubi and Zaidi, Alav Shalom, they used to live in the house next door to me, like right next